What's up, YouTubers? This is Hazard F5 back with a brand new video, and today's a special one. Firstly, I am not keeping this on my head for the entire review. As cool as it is, just know. I will be doing a full in-depth review of this mask, by the way, including a couple of others that I've received over the past year. So look out for those videos in the next weeks and months coming up. Now, the belt we're going to be looking at today is very special. It's one of the rarest belts that I have in my collection. I've been collecting belts for over 20 years, and this is the only Jmar affiliated copy of this belt that I have ever seen show up on the market. Now, there might be other ones out there. I've never seen them, and I've seen quite a few big time expensive belts go up on sale on belttalk.com, the Belt Talk forum, Facebook page, etc. Many of the high-end, genuine, authentic belts are around those areas, and I've never seen another one. So when this popped up a little while back, I figured I had to jump in on it. Now, you have seen this belt on my old channel. You'll know if you did see that review that it is a very old belt, so there is some wear on it, which you'll see in the video. This belt debuted in 2002 and actually holds the distinction of being the first ever WWE belt, because this belt debuted for the division several weeks after the name change from the World Wrestling Federation to World Wrestling Entertainment, which means that this belt actually sports the WWE logo on a belt for the first time in history, which is quite a cool fun fact if you ask this belt nerd. This belt has been held by some incredible wrestlers, from the Hurricane / Gregory Helms, the longest reigning champion in the division's history, guys like Billy Kidman, Tajiri, Matt Hardy, version 1, and of course, Rey Mysterio. Of course, we're talking about a genuine Jmar set of plates on belt band down leather of the 2002 Ruthless Aggression SmackDown WWE Cruiserweight Championship belt. So, let's go take a look. And here we have the 2002 edition of the WWE Cruiserweight Championship belt. A very underrated design, in my opinion. So let's get into it. So here at the top, you've got the sunburst style edges towards the top of the main plate, very similar to the shape of the WCW Cruiserweight Championship. Underneath, you've got the white painted WWE logo with the black background. On each side, you've got this sort of scroll filler. Then on the outer edges here, you've got the stone at the top, along with sort of a shattered sunburst pattern going down the side, which is also featured on the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Championships, giving it that sort of uniformal look across the two divisions. You've also got this dotted pattern going around the edge of the plates. Again, you've got the stone and matching shattered sunburst pattern here. As we move to the middle, so you've got the World Wrestling Entertainment lettering. You might recognize this font actually, as it was used on the WrestleMania 19 or 2003 WrestleMania logos and promotional material. Then you've got the red Cruiserweight wording. Pretty unique, as in this variation, and this is pretty rare for belts at the time, the letters are etched into the plate and painted in red, whereas you've got the excess areas that are raised up. Typically, which is standard, like the other two banners, it's the letters that are raised and the rest of the area that's etched down. Then you've got the champion banner, which actually arches and curves behind the banner and down into this area here with this nice sort of mini filler. It is missing a stone that I still need to replace. This is a very, very old belt. You might see that there is some discoloration in it in some spots. This is, to my knowledge, the only collector copy of the Cruiserweight Championship that Jmar ever produced. When I say collector's copy, I mean real specifications, real plates by Jmar, but weren't ring used. So I've not seen any other one up until this point. Then, of course, you've got the same style jagged bottom to it, like the top. And if I zoom out here, you can see sort of like the overall shape of the WCW Cruiserweight title, the spikes on the top, spikes on the bottom, and then you've got the sort of regular flat arch with the indentation on the side. So similar in shape to the WCW variation. As we move on to side plates, so again, you've got the triangular sunbursts at the top, the dotted pattern matching the main plate, and there you've got the sun at the top, with the sunbursts going towards the crown with the WWE logo in the center, or stylized crown, I guess. And here you've got more of that scroll filler with the bright red painted background to match the lettering, and also the two areas on the main plate. Not sure why Jmar didn't paint those areas, although it might have been a bit overpowering. Then you've got the outside plates, so you've got the ring ropes and turnbuckles in the middle, the scroll pattern with the red background here at the bottom, and then the matching top of the main plate. The other side is identical, so nothing actually changes. So you've still got the spikes at the top, the dotted border, or banner rather, the sunburst patterns, the logo. I think I would have preferred if the background of the logo here wasn't painted black, give it a little bit more room to breathe. I think that would have looked a little bit better. But obviously it still matches up well with the main plate. And at the end of the day, this was introduced right after WWE went through their name change. And as it was introduced literally a couple of weeks after the WWF changed to WWE, I guess they wanted to get their name out there of being WWE. This was actually the first belt that debuted on television with the WWE logo. Others like the SmackDown tags and Raw tags came later on in the year, but this was the first one. This was in July, if I remember correctly, of 2002, just about 2 months after the name change. Gorgeous belt. Now let's take a look at the leatherwork. So like I mentioned, this belt is several years old. It has seen better days, so there is wear and tear. So the strap itself was done by Belts by Dan, or Belt Fan Dan, or whatever handle you know him as. So you've got the logos going around the border. With the wide cut going around the main plate. And if you look at the belt that was used on TV, you'll notice that it is a very widely cut belt, both at the top and bottom of the main plate. Far more so than other belts used in WWE at the time. Then you've got your stylized snap box tooling, along with the hand tooling in here, meant to mimic the Jmar snap box stamp, because Jmar had one stamp that he'd literally press for the entire plate, whereas this is hand done. There are a few snaps missing. Something I can always replace later on if I absolutely need to. And like the belt on TV, comes with a plain black backing. The belt on TV also originally came with a logo plate when it debuted in the hands of the Hurricane on SmackDown. But by the end of the summer, when Jamie Noble was champion, they had actually removed the logo plate and cut down the strap to make it smaller for the cruiserweights to wear comfortably. So with the, at the time, new WWE logo at the top. The vine-like scroll patterns on either side of the logo. The distorted sunburst patterns on each side, along with these central banners. Just a really, really nice belt. This belt doesn't get enough attention, in my opinion. Now, how does it fare up compared to the WCW Cruiserweight Championship? In my opinion, it doesn't. The WCW version is a lot better. Little fun fact, that WWE continued to use the match graphics of the WCW Cruiserweight belt with the WWF logo plastered over the WCW logo for nearly a year after this belt was actually introduced, before they updated their graphics for their Cruiserweight title match cards. And there you have it, guys, a genuine WWE Ruthless Aggression 2002 Cruiserweight Championship belt. I absolutely love this thing. I said a moment ago, one of the more underrated designs in my opinion, especially when it comes to WWE. Those of you who are familiar with me and my stuff online, the Ruthless Aggression era was my favorite time within WWE, specifically SmackDown, SmackDown 6, and the incredible matches they were putting on a weekly basis was absolutely phenomenal, with Brock, Angle, Benoit, you had Guerrero, Los Guerreros, Rey Mysterio, Edge, and so many others. And to the point where, like, I have a specific cabinet just behind me here, which is dedicated to just SmackDown, the Undisputed Championship. You've got the SmackDown tags, the US Championship, and of course you've got this as well. Just an absolutely gorgeous belt. And I have a real affinity for that period of WWE and pro wrestling. And of course then you had NWA TNA starting up as well. Really, really lovely and quite a rare, meaningful piece to me personally. As far as the leather, again, it's very, very well broken in by this point. Here by Belts by Dan. Of course, this belt is, I don't know when it was made. I don't know when it was produced. It was a long time ago. You can tell by all the little tells on the belt itself. But overall, just a lovely, lovely piece. Very small in stature compared to the other belts in my collection. Thus comes with the Cruiserweight. I think this actually, if I'm not mistaken, yes, a couple of inches smaller than the Winged Eagle even. So anyway, guys, that's it from me. Let me know what your opinions are on both this particular copy of the belt, but also the WWE Cruiserweight Championship in general. I always feel like it was a very underrated design and underappreciated. I feel like it gets more love now than it did back in the day, whether that was to do with WWE's mismanagement of the division in its later years and the Hornswoggle era and that kind of stuff, or what. But let me know what you think of the Cruiserweight Championship, and I'll catch you as always next time.